What's good, y'all? Elvis here. So today is election day, and I'm warning everybody, do not tell me who you voted for. Personally, I have many issues with the election and just the whole idea of voting and everything, but I also understand I'm a very specific individual, and if everybody adopted my perspective about things, I feel like it'd be very difficult for us all to organize about anything, you feel me? But I'm also not political. Like, I don't care who you voted for. I care about why. With humans, there's so much nuance in any one decision that we make. You can't solidly define anybody by one thing that they do because there's infinite circumstances that are applicable to a situation. Everything is case by case. The candidate that you choose is not important. Your vote is basically not important. What's important is the narrative that you identify with. There's many people I talk to who are pro-Kamala, anti-Trump, and pro-Trump, anti-Kamala. But when I ask them why they're voting, I realize that they both identify with the same narrative. It's just the opposite candidate represents the opposite of what they're standing for. It's not even that any one person is evil. Both sides are similar level of misguided or ignorant. Let's say you're running for office or even just building a clientele. You got to find a target demographic. And the best way to get to that target demographic is finding the narrative that they associate with. Everybody has different life circumstances, but humans connect through narrative. The reason that the Bible hits so hard is because whatever life that you live, you could read the Bible and find something that's applicable for you to get some game or like just get some perspective or just to grow through whatever you need to grow through. It's the same thing with music and stories. Like, the only difference between pastors, entertainers, and politicians is the content that they're talking about. That's the only thing. They connect to where you are, and then some people profit off that. Actually, every artist profits off that. They speak words, they speak to the feelings that you don't have the words to describe. They speak to the intuitive knowledge that you can't eloquently explain. I realize that's why a lot of people like my videos, because I say what they feel in simple words. But it's not really about me. Just like it's not really about Trump, it's not really about Kamala. I'll learn so much, and I'm just realizing, like, I could ask somebody about their candidate and what they believe politically, but I'm gonna learn a lot more off of why. Oh, this part might go left. But I got an issue with voting. And I feel like voting is a very feminine way to make change. I feel like a real masculine, assertive way to make change is not to worry about whoever the fuck is in charge of this. I'm in charge of this corner of the world, and I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z to make this shit better. I don't care about what you want. I'm gonna do what I care about. And we have to be two people that can contribute to a similar cause, and we have overlap, then let's buddy up. But ultimately, I'm concerned with what I can do, not with what they can do. And it annoys me when people are so quick to be like, slaves died for the right to vote. It's like, whoa, you're jumping to a lot of conclusions with that. Because they died for a lot of reasons. Slaves didn't die specifically so you could put in your little vote. Slaves died so you could grow sovereignty. People made a sacrifice so you can go further than they did. You know what I'm saying? And that's not just a step further. The idea of they died for our right to vote is just, it doesn't make sense to me. Because they died for a lot of reasons. They died for you to be able to have freedom, sovereignty, think for yourself, do for yourself, not to trust some white man to handle your best interests. That doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make sense to me that as a black community, I say community in quotes because I don't think there is a black community. There's a group of black individuals. A group of strong individuals make a strong family. A group of strong families creates a strong community. I don't think black people have a community because a community requires a collective goal. We're working towards something. Most people in the black community are in survival. I'm not even talking about having bread. I'm talking about emotionally and spiritually in survival. If you are in a place where you're starving for any kind of needs, it's harder for you to perceive other people's needs. So you can't meet those for other people. To have a strong family, we got to have strong individuals, people that are whole within themselves and that come together. And then those families come together to create a community with a goal. Most of the black community, as it is now, is a bunch of people that feel oppressed, that are reacting to what other people are doing. To me, that's not a community. That's just a traumatized population. I'm not voting in this election. I probably don't see myself voting on any other election because I vote for myself. Nobody has more agency and power in my life to make the change that I want to than I do. And I'm not going to spend all this time and energy just hoping that somebody going to come around to the things that I think are important. The more I think about it, the more I feel like voting is really just giving up my power. I'm not even gonna get into how the Electoral College actually works. But even if my vote directly contributed to choosing who the person is in that seat, that person is a puppet. They don't have that much power. I was enrolled at North Carolina A&T when Trump won the election. When I say the day after he won, the campus was a ghost town. Everybody looked defeated, bro. You would think they dropped a bomb on us, bro. And now I'm looking back like 4 years past that, my life was not actually any worse. If anything, I was more empowered to do what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily because of him. I decided I wasn't gonna let other people have more power in my life than I was. I don't care about voting for the president of the United States. Nigga, I'm the president. I'm the president of my life. I run this shit. I'm chief of staff. Like, everything runs through me. I'm chief diplomat. I handle all smoke. You know what I'm saying? I look at voting and just hoping that somebody else make change that I want to make as just giving up my power. It's not really the action of voting. It's really like the energy that goes behind it. Are you actually taking responsibility for the change that you want to make happen? You could vote whether you're pro-choice or pro-life or whatever, but for the children in your community, do you care for them? Like, I don't care if you say, oh, we shouldn't be able to do that because life is precious and you care about these kids, but you don't take care of the kids that are in your life directly affected by you. You know what I'm saying? Like, your vote or the reason behind it is weak to me. You could be pro-choice because it fits into your scheme of what the greater good is, but on a personal level, you respect life to the highest degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the reasons why we believe what we believe is way more important than what we believe. Like, what narrative do you associate with? Like, I don't care if you vote for Kamala or Trump, but like, are you standing behind the things that you say? Are you trying to grow? Like, what are you trying to contribute to the world? If you can't tell me what those things are, I really don't care about what your vote is. Because if you can't answer those things, then everything else is performative. You know, nobody has it all together. You know what I'm saying? We're all progressively over and under correcting. You know what I'm saying? We're different levels of ignorant on every side because as humans, we're not meant to have the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? We can't handle the bigger picture. We all got to contribute to the collective that is the bigger picture. The issue I have with voting is similar to the issue I have with tithing. It's like, who is someone else to tell me and try to measure the metric of how I influence the world around me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be somebody that votes every year. But to me, voting is generally a feminine way of enacting change in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're putting the onus onto somebody else to do that for you. If I want to make this happen, I'm going to go make that happen. If they in the way, I'm going through them. You know what I'm saying? Ideally, I'm trying to work for everybody's best interest so I mitigate as much conflict as possible over time. But ultimately, I'm working to build and create and provide. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, anybody who's telling me a way to make change in the world that doesn't lean into that, it's like, well, that's y'all. Y'all got it. You know, everybody played a part. But like with tithing, people tell me I should tithe 10% of my income. I'm like, I don't care about tithing my bread. I tithe 100% of my energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put my energy where God called me to put it. And that pays hella niggas' bills. You know what I'm saying? As well as my own. It's like, who is someone to tell me, oh, like 10% that means something? Like, the time and energy I put into connecting with another human being is me connecting with God. You know what I'm saying? Like, God don't care about a dollar amount. He weighs the heart posture. Like, why do you do the things that you do? I'm not a religious or a political person. I care about learning. I care about learning deeper within myself, learning with other people. Just co-learning. Like, I used to call myself, like, I thought I wanted to be a teacher and instructor, but really, all I'd be doing is just learning alongside people. I'd be at my old barber school every week on Tuesdays. And people look at me like, oh, I'm teaching something, but it's like, really, I'm learning something from y'all while I'm learning something I thought I knew a little deeper because I got to explain it to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always something I'm getting from somebody else, and I feel like that's what we're here for. We're supposed to here to respect each other and to learn from each other. I feel like the whole issue is, like, the whole idea of comfort. Bro, comfort isn't real. Comfort is a temporary thing. None of us are supposed to live in comfort. Comfort means death. You know what I'm saying? That's stagnation. So if you're not trying to grow something to make it better, you're literally just slowing down the death of something. See, there was a point in time where I was a victim. I felt like a victim. I'd say that. And I wanted to preserve all the little things that I had, you know what I'm saying? But no matter how much energy you put into that, things will always change. So I'm realizing that it's not worth trying to force any one result in the world. It's like literally be open to trying to make it better, and it will open up in ways better than you could ever possibly imagine. But that's not going to happen if you keep trying to make things back to your perception of something. Like, even if you go back to the way something was at a certain point, your perception of a situation is higher now. So even if you look back at the situation, it wouldn't look the same. You wouldn't experience it the same. You would have started to see more flaws in it. Like, problems are just opportunities for optimization. We never really solve any problems. We just replace them with other problems. And that's how we know our life is getting better. But as long as these are problems that we're choosing to face, that's how we know we're actually, like, we're taking control of our life, or as much control as we can. Because ultimately, like, God got it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be feeling like I'd be steering this shit, but it's like, no, I'd be touching the wheel every now and then. It's his car. It's his road. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the ride along, realistically. Like, I don't have that much power here, but I feel like that's the lesson. I feel like God helps you when you're helpless, when you've done everything you can, and then God fills the distance. But if you're half-assing, let's say, faith without works, let's say just voting and hoping for a solution, you're not even putting yourself into position to get the assist. And that's my issue with people when they want to talk about voting. Like, people died for the right to vote. Like, people died for much more than the right to vote. People died for expansion. People died to grow their sovereignty. People died to connect with God more. People died to grow past old circumstances. We're still talking about, oh, the power to make the change I want to make happen is over there with that person. Nigga, how is that different than the people that came before? How are we honoring the energy that they put in if we're not trying to transcend the problems that are in front of us? But that's all I really got for today. But I appreciate y'all. If y'all like the content, you know, go ahead and like and subscribe. If you haven't already followed your boy on Instagram as well as TikTok, check me out at Cuts by Elvis, at Better Barbering. But appreciate y'all again. Till next time, Craft of a Clout. I'm out.